Hello everyone and welcome again to Jason's in the House. I'm your host Jason Parisella, a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty in Beverly. We're actually in Danvers today over at Cranney Self-Storage on Water Street, and we're going to be talking to Gayla Bartlett from Cranney Self-Storage. And Gayla, why don't you join us here on the set?
Great.
How you doing, Gayla?
Hi Jason, welcome.
Oh,
nice
thank
to
you
have
very
you
much.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gayla, we normally start off the show with the guest introducing themselves. Tell us a little bit about the company and what you do here.
Sure. My name is Gayla Bartlett. I'm the manager of Cranney Self-Storage. We are a gorgeous climate-controlled storage facility at 24 Water Street in Danvers, like you said. I've been the manager here about 5.5 years. We have over 760 beautiful storage units, which we're going to take a tour of today. So I'd like to welcome you and your crew inside.
Excellent. So why don't we go inside? And again, this show is going to be all about storage, why people store. Obviously, when people are moving, selling houses, they use storage, but there's also a lot of other units we're going to talk about, different types, and we'll get into actually some home services also. So let's go inside. All right, so actually we're inside Cranney Self-Storage right now, and Gayla's going to walk us through kind of the beginning stages of this, and then kind of we'll go out back and go from there.
Great. So the first thing when someone comes into our lovely office here is we welcome them. We're going to take them out into our building and show them how they can rent a storage unit. We do sell boxes, bubble tape, and all the packing supplies they need right here in our office for moving. And we have our gorgeous boxes on display too, which make it a lot easier. Moving is stressful, so we try to make it as pain-free as possible. And if you'd like, we can go look at our lovely loading dock, Jason.
Absolutely. So you're going to supply everything, so it's like you said, 'cause it's very stressful selling a home. So they come in here, it's stress-free environment. You guys can take care of everything and have all the supplies
One
ready.
stop.
Excellent.
Everything they need, they're out. They can breathe again.
Excellent. All right, so you said we're going to go up back to the...
Right to the loading dock, yep.
Excellent.
Right this way. Dock. This is where people come and load and unload when they're coming in and out of our building. We also have a ramp, which makes it easier. Sometimes we could have 3 or 4 moves all at the same time. So it's all about staging. The end of the month and the beginning of the month for any storage facility are the busiest. That's when everybody's closing their house and staging. Stagers have been wonderful to the storage industry alone. We have so many referrals from wonderful stagers and realtors who are trying to sell those houses, so they come to storage. So it's been a great partnership for us.
So if you have your own truck or your own car or whatever, you just pull in, you have a loading dock here.
Right here, yeah.
What about if, so obviously you have other moving companies that come right in here. They just schedule the time to come in?
They don't even have to do that.
Really? Okay.
We try to make it as easy as possible. We never know when people are going to move in. If I know ahead of time, I'll stage them 1, 2, 3. We have another loading dock in the way back.
I see.
So if I have to use that one as well, I will.
So you provide the carts and things to get it from
the carts and dollies.
Okay. And you also said there is a ramp here too, so I guess for small items and
it's
make it a
easier,
little bit
right?
easier to
If
get in.
you're going to do it car by car, it's a lot easier to go up and down the ramp.
Yeah. So, by the way, too, what's your hours here? So people, when can they load and unload and things like that?
We're a secure facility. We're not a 24-hour facility, so our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 8 to 4, and Sunday, 9 to 1. So people can only come into this building when we're physically present.
I see.
So it's really nice for people that have problems with large spaces. We come into that a lot.
Yeah.
People are claustrophobic, they don't like large spaces, and they don't like to be alone in a storage building. So it's nice for them to know that we can see them on our cameras all the time. There's help phones all throughout the building, so we can help them anytime they need us.
Yeah, excellent. So they come here, the door would be open, they have a key to their own unit? Or how does that work?
Right, they have their own lock and key. We don't keep any keys. They use our keypad to get in. They have their own code to get into the building, and then they just come in during our hours.
So you mentioned too, so this is not a 24-hour. What would be the difference between your storage facility and a 24-hour?
There are 24-hour storage facilities which are great for contractors and anyone that needs to get to, or DJs. DJs need 24-hour storage. How are you? They need to get to their equipment at night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. That's not our customer.
I see.
We wouldn't work for them. 24-hour facilities are great for those kinds of people, and there's plenty of them around us that we work with as well. They can get to their stuff anytime they want. There's no one in the office 24 hours though. Their office staff basically works the same hours we do.
I see. So then they have obviously access on their own,
Yep.
and they would be able to get in whenever they want.
Right,
to, yeah.
and there's drive-up facilities too, which is nice. Our units are all inside our building, but drive-up facilities, they actually are all outdoors, and they just pull up the units and they're right there.
Excellent. So why don't we go inside, and we'll talk a little bit more about the different types of storage and units that you can get, and we'll talk a little bit more about the process.
Great.
So we just came from the loading dock. We're coming in, and obviously there's how many different floors or levels?
We have 3.
So there's 3 levels. So typical on a storage place, you're going to have, you know,
Different levels,
different
yep.
levels. You're going to have obviously, depending. I mean, I'm guessing too, the closest of the unit to the loading dock, is that more expensive or less, or does it really matter?
In some storage facilities it is, in ours it isn't. We have our prices are the same whether you're on the first, second, or third. We don't believe in pricing it differently out.
I see.
The cart's allowed. And we have a move-in today, so it's a busy day.
Seems like a busy day here.
It's
yeah,
it's the first of the month.
It's the first,
a
yeah.
busy day.
So we're actually filming October 1st.
Yeah,
So
busy day.
Busy day at the storage place. So that's great. So you don't actually pay extra or less
Right,
or more
it's all the
depending
same.
on where the unit is. But obviously, a little bit more convenient if it's closer to the door.
Right, and you know, sometimes you could be on the 3rd floor and actually be closer to the loading dock than if you are on the first way in the back.
So where's the elevator, by the way?
I'll take you, I'll show you, it's beautiful.
Take a look at that, yeah.
And we are a climate-controlled storage facility as well, so we have heat and air conditioning. There are some storage facilities that do not have the heat and the AC. And if you,
Well, that makes a big difference,
it does,
especially
it's
with
cold.
people have very valuable antiques
Yep.
and things like that.
And that's one of the things we recommend. If you have beautiful antique furniture, or if you have vintage oil paintings or anything like that, it really should be in a climate-controlled storage facility.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not, it
Yeah.
gets weathered and it shrinks, and people have issues with that as well. So this is our elevator. This goes all the way up to the 3rd floor. It's beautiful.
What's the average time that people store here?
We have some people that have been here since the building opened 14 years ago. We have some that stay a year, some that stay a few months. It really depends on what their needs are.
Okay.
Our leases are month to month, so they don't
That's
have
good.
to worry.
So do you give a discount for anybody that does long term?
Yeah, we do. If they stay for a year, they get a month free. If they stay for 6 months, they get a half a month free.
I see.
Yeah, so it's nice.
Excellent.
And we know all the people in our building. That's one of the things I like the best, is all our customers, we know their faces and their names.
Right.
So it's warm and fuzzy. I call us warm and fuzzy storage, because we know everybody,
Yeah.
which is nice.
And so I'm assuming also that typically you're going to pay more for climate control than you would
You
for
do,
something that's
right.
not. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the shockers to people is the price of storage. It really ranges. If you're in a non-climate controlled storage facility, your prices are less. There are people that will comparison shop like they do a contract or they do a storage. And what I always tell people is the best thing to do is go and visit all the storage facilities you're looking at, because there's different storage for different people.
Right.
And what might work for one person might not work for the next. And our prices are comparable, but they're not as low as a facility that doesn't have any air conditioning and heat, because we have more bills to pay.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Did you want to go see one of the gorgeous units?
Let's absolutely, yeah, because we
You
want to
wanna-
talk. Definitely, yes. Let's go
Okay,
up.
it's right
Oh,
around
we're going
here.
over here. Okay.
We're going over here.
And then we'll show you. And then you're going to show us. Actually, we're going to go up in the elevator. Or you're just going to show us the.
You want to go upstairs?
Well, it's up to you if you want to.
We can go upstairs,
Okay,
but the
let's-
units are down here that we're going to look at. But we'll go upstairs.
We'll just take a quick look at the other floors, and then we'll go from there.
Just wants to go up in the elevator. So we'll go up to our 3rd floor, because we do have 3 floors. It's nice. If you notice, the elevator is padded. That's so moving companies don't destroy the elevator.
I imagine there's so much. Yeah.
They get a little
so much
rough.
Traffic,
Some
yeah.
of them are a little rougher than others, but they're normally quite good.
Yeah. Is there? By the way, is there security deposit
No.
for each unit? No.
Nope.
Okay.
It's month to month, and you
Good,
know
yeah.
they move in and out. We sweep it clean. We have a wonderful maintenance person. He cleans it. It smells like Lysol every other day in here. Pine Sol. It's wonderful. We like to be clean and neat, so. And we have our help phones next to every elevator that say "Need help, dial 10." Most storage facilities will have the phones so that if people get lost, I come and find people all the time. People do get lost.
That's
in
true.
here.
They must. Yeah.
They do. It's overwhelming for some people if they're not large spaces. If we know someone has a problem and they walk in, tell us at the beginning, we'll come and check on them every half hour to
So
make sure they're
units,
okay.
How many units are actually here?
About, what do we have, 777.
Wow.
And then I have parking spaces out back too. We rent to a lot of different businesses that have vehicles that they can't store at their location. So we have limousine companies, we have contractors, we have landscapers. It's a large family. And what's great is that we have 3 different limo services, and they actually work together referring business.
Oh, wow.
Which has been huge. I try to get everyone in this building, because I do a lot of networking, to network together. We have a lot of small businesses in here too. So we're more than a storage facility, we're also a little community.
Yeah. By the way, too, do you rent to a homeowner that's moving, maybe has an extra car or anything, needs a space out back? Or is it
absolutely.
Okay, so that's part of it.
Yeah, if they want to rent a store parking space, we can do that. In the winter during the parking ban, we usually fill up our parking spaces with all the local people in our area that just can't find a spot.
Excellent. Okay, so we're on the 3rd floor. Anything else you want to show us here, or you want to go back?
We have our, this is pretty standard. We have our security cameras all throughout the building too, if he wants to get a nice shot. We have those so we can see who's in our building at all times. So
yeah, I can imagine too, people at the loading door, you can't see.
Right, and it's good for me too visually, so I can see who's in my building and I know what customers need more help.
Right.
So that we can check in on them all the time, which we do.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back down and we'll take a look at one of the units.
Absolutely. So we have different kinds of storage as well too. People store for different reasons.
Right.
I know you'd asked me about that.
Yeah.
We deal with a lot of memories. People that have lost a loved one and they need a place to store everything so everyone in the family can come and sort through it.
I would imagine it happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. We have people that can't part with things that want to store it. We have a lot of holiday decorations here, and everybody always asks me about auctions. And I'll tell you, if you come to an auction, I guarantee you can find some Christmas decorations. A lot of Christmas decorations. We do hold auctions.
I was just going to say, there's that show. What's the name of the show?
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars. So, what would trigger an auction?
Once someone goes past 90 days, we legally have the right to start the auction proceedings, which we do. They would get several letters in the mail, so they have ample time to regain their items in their possession. And if they choose not to and they avoid all the letters, then the certified letters, then we do have an auction.
So they come in just like Storage Wars?
It's not that exciting, but they do. They bring their flashlights, and we do sell all the units that go to auction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Usually we have one about every 6 months.
Every 6 months, yeah. Okay.
So
all right, so we're down back on the 1st floor, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to actually go take a look at one of the units.
A lovely 10 by 10.
So you actually have, I think you mentioned most of these are all full.
Yeah, I only have a couple units, and I actually work with other managers in the area. We work together so that if they, because I don't have outdoor storage, but U-Haul does. So it's nice for us as other managers to work together so that if I know a storage facility has a certain type of unit, I can refer them up there.
Excellent.
So people think we're cutthroat competitors. We're really not. We want to work together so that the customers can get what they need.
Right. Yeah, no, it seems like, and I mentioned this to you before the show, that it's getting so popular.
It's huge.
It really seems like they're springing up all over the place, the storage.
Now, this is a gorgeous 10 by 10 unit. And this is generally the size of a unit that someone has an apartment and they need to stage their houses. They will come in here. And one of the most important things I always tell people is how to pack it.
Yeah, because you want to make sure, obviously, that you want to maximize the space and not have to buy another unit.
Right, and sometimes people think they need a larger space than they do. So what I'll do is tell people to actually measure their largest piece of furniture, come with me, and we actually chalk it out in the unit. So that way I can save them money. I'd hate to have someone spend for a larger unit if they don't need it.
They don't need it, right, because it'd be hard to judge, I would imagine, which one you actually need. Yeah.
Right, so I mean, it's just, they put their beds in, up against the wall. The biggest thing I tell people is when you pack, even if you're going to pack a pod or a rat pack, you need to pack the perimeters. I'm a pro. I moved my friends this past 2 weeks ago, and I packed that pod so tight.
Wow.
They got all the way to South Carolina and nothing moved. I said, wouldn't you think a storage guru would know how to pack a pod?
Right.
So the expertise came in handy. So you basically pack your perimeter first. So that's all your hutches, your beds, your bureaus, anything like that. And then you're going to put anything you want needs to be in the front, especially if you hire movers. I always tell people, if you're going to hire a mover, tell them your winter clothes or anything you want, put it in the front. If you don't, it's in the back.
Yeah.
Because movers will pack these so tight.
So if you're not, I mean, do you normally want to be here when the mover comes? Because otherwise, I would imagine they're just going to come in and pack it whatever way
Thank
they...
you, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you want to make sure you meet the...
Yeah, I would have somebody here at all times watching the movers because they're great. They work hard, but they don't know what's important to you and what you want to get at.
Right.
Like the kids' toys will be way in the back corner, and I've seen people spend hours here unpacking what they paid to have the movers move in.
Wow, yeah.
And the different types of storage you asked about earlier, we have climate-controlled storage, which is what we are. There's 24-hour storage, which is not climate-controlled in most cases. There's also the pods, or the rat packs, which is where a lot of realtors love it and don't like it because you actually bring it to the house, you fill it up, they take it away, but when you're trying to sell the house, to have it there sometimes is a little...
Yeah, it's true.
Not as nice on the eyes.
One question too is, are they normally climate controlled, these, when they take them, the pods and the...
No. They show up with a pod, it's empty, it has no...
Right, so when they come get it though, they'll come get it and store it.
Right. And where do they put it? It's usually in a warehouse.
So you just have to realize that if you needed climate control, it's probably not. Most of these portable storage
Right,
units,
and not all of them actually get stored in warehouses either. They can go into like little hubs, which are outdoors until you get it. But I mean, convenient-wise, they're great, and they're you know, they're cost-effective.
Yeah.
And if you're going to travel with it, and you know, some people get their U-Haul trucks and move it that way. But there are so many different kinds of storage that it's fascinating.
Right.
And everybody needs something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, it's such. It seems like it's getting so much more popular with all the storage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think the reason is? That
the lovely real estate market.
That's true. The market's
we've
changing,
had I've been here, like I said, over 5.5 years, and I've never seen a summer like we've had. It has been amazing. We always rent to college kids. We love college students. That's normal. And I usually deal a lot with the elderly in all the assisted living complexes because they're our neighbors. And when people transition, they sell their home and they go into an assisted living complex, they need a place to store everything. But people have been selling their homes before they've bought a home.
Right.
So it's been really, the circle's full.
And you know, the other thing too is the staging has become so popular where people are decluttering their homes and then they need temporary storage, whether it be a portable storage unit or a place, you know, that's permanent like this that they need for a short-term basis. So.
Right, and one misconception is everybody says, well, why do you need storage? It's just junk. It's not junk. I tell people it's memories because they're things people can't get rid of that have been passed down from generation to generation that means so much to them.
Yeah.
And we also deal with a lot of local businesses too that can store their files here. So that's nice
true.
for us.
Yeah, I've known of businesses doing that. I mean, well, paperless is now becoming more popular, but these businesses generate so many folders that need to be stored too. Yeah.
Right.
Just rent them for the store for the.
So it's
files.
nice.
Yeah.
And I like it because we're a community-based storage facility, so we're right in the heart of Danvers, so we get to see everybody and help with different community events.
Yep. Excellent.
Which is nice.
So we talked about the long-term and short-term, so that you obviously accommodate both of those. It's a month-to-month.
Yep.
And they generally, it seems around, you're pretty full, so if someone came here, they wouldn't really have too many options.
Well, not now, but,
Not now,
I guarantee the tide will turn in another week.
Yeah, I see.
It happens the beginning and the end of the month or when everybody moves in and out. We do have a waiting list, so what's been great is that when people move out, someone moves in the next day. We turn them over really quick.
Yep.
But now we're in October, so October, November, and December are normally a slower time for storage. So this year we'll see what happens.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So yeah, because this is the beginning of the month, as we mentioned, so probably towards the middle of the month, you think it would?
Right. The middle of the month, if you're shopping for a storage unit, the best time to go is middle month. The end of the month and the beginning are the craziest, and that's when storage facilities actually have less inventory. So if you're moving in the middle of the month, they have a lot more inventory, which is nice. So that way you can have a decision whether you're on the first, second, or third floor.
Yeah. Okay. And you said how many different sizes again are here? This is a 10 by 10.
Yes, this is a gorgeous 10 by 10. We have 10 by 20s, which are double this. They're huge. They're like a garage. We also have a 5 by 10, which is smaller, which is usually good for someone that just has a few pieces of furniture. For college students, it's good as well. And then we have some odd sizes like 6 by 5s, 8 by 5s. So the majority of people that come in get a 10 by 10, a 5 by 10, or a 10 by 20.
Excellent. Gayla, I noticed too that each one of these, it doesn't go up. How come they don't go up higher?
How come they don't go up higher?
They have a,
because
they have like a, there's like a, what do you call on the top?
There's
Like
a grate.
Screen? A grate,
Yep.
yeah.
The standard height of all our units is 8 feet, no matter what floor they're on.
So why wouldn't you go make them higher?
Because people can't stack higher.
That's true.
That would be
You don't want
dangerous.
people
Can you imagine the
on ladders
liability
and-
insurance if it was 10 feet high and it fell on their head? Oh
That's
my
true.
goodness, it's awful.
There you
Even
go. That
8
answers
feet
the
high,
question.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even 8 feet high for someone that's 5'2", my height is tough to
Do they
try to
actually
stack
have,
it.
is there actually any type of, like a building code or anything that you can't go any higher on a storage unit?
I'm not sure about that. I
I'm
know
wondering if that's
the
even-
architect designed it so that it wouldn't be more than 8 feet. And I'm pretty sure when I've been in other storage facilities that they're short too. They're about 8 feet. I don't think they're any.
It's probably somewhat of a
Higher.
standard, because that's a
Right.
good point. You don't want people up on ladders.
It'd be
I mean, even
scary.
if things you
Yeah.
walk in there and it's too high and
And you don't want to give them too much room to stack either, because if it timbered, it would be a dangerous
Yeah.
situation, right?
Excellent. Okay.
And it's beautiful out. It helps when it's nice.
Oh, yeah.
I know. We're the only storage facility with a water view.
Yeah, pretty cool, the water view here at Cranney Self-Storage, yeah. So we're gonna actually, coming from the loading dock, we're gonna take a walk and show you the parking spaces that are actually available for rent also.
Yep.
And these are still the same, month to month?
Right, month
Yeah.
to month. And what's nice in the wintertime is you don't have to worry about getting towed.
Yes, yeah.
So and we plow because we have all our service trucks that come in and out all the time. We also have deliveries for our customers. We have people that are commercial accounts that have trucks come in that deliver to them every day.
Okay,
So they can do that. Some storage facilities won't allow it, but we do,
excellent.
which is nice. So that way
Yeah.
they don't have to worry about missing a delivery.
Now, is this a typical size storage build? I mean, is, you know,
No.
how many,
Well, there are some that are larger.
yeah,
I think, you know, some of the storage facilities out on Route 1 are a lot taller than we are. We're also in a residential commercial area, so we're zoned to be this height. We can't be any bigger because I wanted to build a garage for the cars, and we can't have that.
yeah.
So we're zoned. This is
So it's depending on
where we
zoning
are.
too, yeah.
I mean, some of the ones on Route 1 are a lot taller. They're a lot newer,
Yeah,
but they're zoned differently.
right, yeah, okay. This has been here, when was this building?
Brian Cranney bought the building 14 years ago, and it used to be Babco, which was a factory.
Oh, okay.
The first floor was, and then he built up the addition, and gutted the whole thing and put in, hi Miley, and put in all the storage bins. So most of the cars are out today because they are working trucks. So we rent to a lot of different businesses that come in and out throughout the day. So right now it looks empty, but come 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it'll be full again.
All right, so
It's
this,
nice. This is the other loading dock we have.
oh, okay,
So this is where the commercial trucks come in.
okay,
The large 18-wheelers that need the special gate to come up and down.
yeah.
Did you want to see that?
Yeah, why don't we take a look?
Let's
So
go
this
in.
is a second
This
section
is-
where you can
yeah.
load and unload,
This is
yeah.
where we get deliveries.
Okay,
So when Cranney gets HVAC equipment, it comes in this dock.
I see. Okay, so this is actually,
This is the back of the building.
is this a,
A business, yep. And we have a business that rents, a publisher that rents on both sides.
oh, I see.
So this is his space.
Okay.
He'll get his trucks that come in. And then this is and you can see our buildings right here. This is the other side of the building.
So if you had,
So
even
what-
if you're moving your house and it's an 18-wheel, and this is
Right.
to level to make sure
Right,
it goes
if
to the
needs
height
that
of the truck?
special. Yep.
So it accommodates, obviously,
does.
someone moving cross-country or
Yep.
whatever that has a huge move. They
Right.
can, you pull in here and you can
Right.
come in here, okay.
Which is good for me to know and my staff because we need to know what kind of truck it is so we know what dock to put them in.
I see.
So we stage their move better.
Yep,
And if I know they're coming into this dock, we'll try to put them down this end of the building
okay.
so it's easier for them.
Because you still have to take it off the truck
And
and
they
use
put it on
something
the
to get it to the
dollies, yeah.
storage, yeah. Yeah, I noticed there's a pallet truck here too, which,
Yep, we use that.
Yep.
And like I said, we get a lot of deliveries for different companies that are in and out. Our storage facility is not a boring place to be. There's businesses in here all day, every day, so
Yeah.
it's nice.
so what percentage is business and what percent is,
I'd say a good 30% is business and the rest is all residential.
okay.
So
All right.
it's
And
nice.
this just goes in,
Goes
obviously.
right into the building,
goes-
but,
Okay,
right. So I can't open it from this side. though.
yeah, that's all right. Basically the same type of units are
Yeah.
in there, yeah. Excellent.
It's a regulation loading dock.
Yeah,
This one is. It's nice to have both. A lot of storage facilities don't have this one. So that makes us unique because this was built in for when they had the factory.
oh, okay,
So it's nice.
yep.
And it's nice to have some Danvers history. We're a little piece of Danvers history.
All right, so how many parking spots you actually
It
have?
depends. I have the whole front of the building I rent as well too if I need to, and I've started to do that because we've had so many people that needed to park the commercial trucks that I've started to rent out front as well. So if someone needs a space, I do my best to find them a space.
Yeah, okay,
I don't like to turn people away.
right, right.
We try to help everybody.
How often do you see somebody doing the storage and they have an extra car from a move? Is it
Once
common?
or twice.
Yeah, it's not that
It's
common.
not that common.
Yeah,
But we'll do it if they need to. We have a lot of people that go overseas that'll park their car here because they know that we're continuously walking around so we can check on things.
Right.
And that's another thing that people like when we're here, when they're here, is that we can walk. And in a lot of storage facilities, the managers at storage facilities are very conscious people, and they'll walk throughout their own building to see what's going on, make sure everything's secure. We do a lot of security checks. We do 2 to 3 a day.
so is this all cameras, this whole parking lot?
Yeah.
Obviously you wouldn't want to, I mean, if you had an expensive antique car that's outside, you wouldn't want to
That's
be.
the thing. People always call me and they want to store their cars inside. They can't.
They can't.
We can't have anything explosive, ignitable. None of that can come in our building. No Harleys, no cars. That's why
Well,
I want a
motorcycles,
garage.
yeah, because that's a common thing too, people storing their
Yeah.
motorcycles.
We can't have them in our building.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the antique cars and the motorcycles can't come here. They have to go to special storage.
yeah. Well, those are pretty, well, they have, those are more like a garage type
Right.
of storage,
Right.
whether it be climate controlled
Well, they
or
want
not.
climate controlled.
Yeah, and the motorcycles, yeah.
And we don't do wine storage yet either. People ask me about that all the time.
Because that's a whole different,
It is. It's a whole nother kind of storage.
I mean, you'd have to,
it's
that's a
really
very
It's
specific,
sealed.
yeah.
Climate controlled. So
So they must have storage facilities specifically for.
they do for wine.
Wine
A lot
and-
of
yeah.
distilleries will have it now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so not only do we talk about self-storage, we're also going to talk about what else Cranney does, which is home services.
Right.
So you have a lot going on here. So we did,
busy
again, we
place.
went through the storage facility.
Mm-hmm.
And talk a little bit about what else you offer here, or what
Sure.
else you offer at Cranney companies.
Great. Well, this is also, the storage facility is also the hub for the Cranney Home Services call center. And we offer what is called the Complete Home Protection Plan. And what happens is for a monthly fee, our members receive 4 inspections a year. They get plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical, which is great. They're all preventative inspections that they receive. They also receive 15% off any service work that they have done, and they never pay a daytime dispatch fee, which is huge. Just having your membership for 2 service calls actually pays for it. And there's times where there's no heat and no AC calls, and if you're a plan member, you always go to the top of the line for that as well.
Excellent.
So it's a good peace of mind.
So it includes, Cranney Home Services includes plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, and drain cleaning.
We do everything.
So you do that whole, I mean,
Yep.
because so many times people are looking for a plumber, then they're
Yep.
looking for an electrician, or a plumber and an electrician need to work together. You do a kitchen over, a bathroom. So it makes sense, I would think, that if you can stick with one company that does
Right.
it all,
It's
it makes it
easier.
a lot easier. Yeah.
And what's great is that there are guys that come out to your house. They're not subcontractors. Our Cranney guys are background checked, drug tested, trained, licensed, insured. So there are guys all the time going into your houses.
Excellent.
So
That's
they're
great.
nice.
Yeah. So busy place.
It is. Like I said, storage is not dull, ever. Cranney Home Services is hopping. The staff is expanding, which is great. Brian also owns the commercial division, Cranney Companies, up the street. So he actually started this business almost, I believe, 8 or 9 years ago. So he has, the residential is doing phenomenal. So he's had the commercial over 30 years, and then he started his residential division.
Excellent, and it's obviously one of the reasons why I wanted to do the show here is because it just gives you an example of some of the businesses that are out there to help homeowners. Again, not only is this a storage facility, you have Cranney Home Services, So it's a great place to call and to talk to Gayla or whoever else she might recommend, just to kind of get a sense of what they offer and how it might benefit you as a homeowner. So Gayla, before we end the show, why don't you just let us know how they can get a hold of you if needed?
Great.
And
Sure. For Cranney Self-Storage, you can actually call 978-777-9193, or you can go to our website, which is cranneystorage.com. For Cranney Home Services, you can call 978-750-6900, or go to crannyhomeservices.com.
excellent.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Jason.
you, Gayla. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody again for watching Jason's in the House. We really appreciate it. Thank you as always to BevCam for all their great help. And if you have any questions for me or comments or would like to be a guest on the show, feel free to give me a call at 978-927-6030. Thank you.